Patch 6 brought to us a new boss in Act 2. The Shambling Mound is now a fully fledged boss and has legendary actions. And I will say, when I practiced this boss, I was level 7 and I barely got through it. I scraped through. I've now come back at level 8 to make things hopefully a little bit easier. In terms of preparation, I would really suggest that at least one, if not two people, have the ability to never be surprised. I gave Lae'zel the alert feat, and I'm going to get Gale to take a potion of vigilance, an elixir of vigilance, sorry. Shadowheart's going to take an elixir of necrotic resistance, and perhaps Tav either an elixir of bloodlust or elixir of the Colossus. He's going to be doing an extra 1d4 damage with his weapon attacks. So we can see the Shambling Mound up there. Actually, before we get to it, we can see its legendary action. If a creature ends its turn within 17 feet, that'd be like, what, 5 or 6 meters, of the Shambling Mound, it will take 3d10 necrotic damage, and Shadow Curse vines will grow at its feet, possibly entangling it. The damage is bad enough, but this makes things worse, because it means then you can't get away from it. And it has an action where it will pull you towards it. One thing really annoying for my bard is it has piercing immunity, so my swords bard who's using slashing flourish isn't going to be able to use the ranged slashing flourish. It is immune to lightning and resistant to necrotic fire and cold. It also has magic resistance, so it has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. It's also got perfect sentry, so it can't be surprised. So if one of your characters is restrained, which can happen with the legendary action, and if it's sprayed its digestive juices over you, which don't do a lot of damage, but you do become vulnerable to piercing and bludgeoning damage, you can then be devoured, instantly killing you. You really need to get away from it whenever you can. Right, let's walk up. Pretend like we don't know what's going on, even though we do. There, we run up, and we get surprised. If you don't have at least 1 or 2 people who are immune to being surprised, the enemy gets a whole free round against you, which is pretty deadly. Second thing to note, and the reason I picked Gale for this, is the Shadow Curse Needle Blights, these smaller ones with fewer hit points. When they die, they explode for a large amount of damage. It makes sense why the Shambling Mound is immune to piercing damage, because otherwise just killing these blights would kill the Shambling Mound. We also have 2 Shadow Curse Vine Blights with us, which will spread the Shadow Curse vines. Pretty much is the annoying part. One last thing for the Shambling Mound. Any creature making a melee attack may become entangled. Alright, we'll go with Ice Storm. Knock some of them prone, so it takes them longer to get down here. You might also find that these 2 dead harpies get raised from the dead. So as soon as you've got several of these Needle Blights around, they basically create kind of like a ticking time bomb, where once one explodes, generally all the rest will explode as well. Now the Shambling Mound has a very low charisma, so banishment can save you from it for a couple of rounds if you've got a high enough spell save DC. I'm not going to do that yet because I still need to show you the legendary action, so I need to find someone to sacrifice actually. So let's see the Needle Blight's explosion in action. There we are, it's pretty much far enough away. Now killing the ads makes this fight a lot easier. The sooner you can do it, the better. I know it sounds a bit obvious, but really so important. Wretched growth. Aha, there we are. Oh, he's saved against it. Okay. So the legendary action itself, if I end my turn here, I will take that damage. Yeah, 3d10 necrotic damage. In fact, Scale's going to end his turn there anyway. Let's leave those guys there. Right. But since I've got everyone going together, it's not when I press end turn, it's when the whole turn actually finishes. So when we end the turn, these guys take necrotic damage. Alright, so Gale is now entangled. He's being digested. Now hopefully we'll see him being eaten alive. Oh, I used dash? That's a shame. You should have just eaten Gale there. It's getting pretty hard to show you someone being eaten. There's the pulling action. He doesn't seem to be interested in this eating anyone. I think I'm going to have to start killing it now. Alright. Make sure your characters aren't stepping in the Shadow Curse vines. We can't use our ranged weapon attacks because mostly the Shambling Mound is immune to them. but if you get close to it, you're going to take lots of extra damage, get entangled, which gives you disadvantage, gives the Shambling Mound advantage, potentially eat you up. So you've really got to wear it down. Take out the ads first, because so many attacks come your way. If you can get rid of them quickly, then it's just the Shambling Mound you have to worry about. But that was just my casual playthrough, right? Let me know your tips, how you've managed to get past the Shambling Mound and what you have found effective. I think what should also work, which I didn't use here, perhaps would have been freedom of movement, because that should stop us from being restrained. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to all the members of my channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.